Today we're going to continue with the comparative and superlative topic, but this time talking about with adverbs and nouns instead of with adjectives. So this is brand new information. It's something we haven't done in the past. But first, what I want to call your attention to, and you'll notice this when you check your answers for the homework, is anytime you're doing the superlative, what you want to have at the very end of the sentence is the word de when you're identifying what the group is, because you're saying of the group, whether it's of the friends, of the students, of the girls. You're always going to use de for that word of there. So to begin with what we're going to do today, we're talking about the comparative and superlative with adverbs and nouns. And I want to remind you that adverbs modify verbs. What you're doing is comparing how something is done. For the adjectives, you always use the verb être in your sentences because you are saying that someone is more or less of an adjective than someone else. But for both the adverbs and the nouns, you're going to be using an action verb. So it's not going to be être, it's going to be any other verb to talk about either how fast someone runs or how carefully someone drives. So we're talking about the verbs run and drive as opposed to the verb to be. So just like you had with the adjectives, I've given you the word order, the structure. So for the comparison or comparative with an adverb, you're going to start with your subject. And again, we're going to translate sentences from English into French as your examples. So you run more fast than me. We would say faster in English, but for structure, we're going to have to say more fast. We're still using the same plus, aussi, et moins for more, as, and less. So for the example, you run, tu cours, more fast. Let's say plus vite que moi for the comparison. You run more fast than me. Tu cours plus vite que moi. Comparative with a noun. I have as many friends as my brother, so we have an equal here, as many as. So with a noun, what we're comparing is the quantity of something. If I have more friends or have fewer friends, in this case, I have as many friends. So I have, j'ai. Now this is where it's a little different. Instead of aussi, like we used up here, to say as many is going to be the word autant. So it's a different word here. So I have as many. J'ai autant d'amis, and it's always plus de, autant de, or moins de. You'll notice in between the de and the noun, there's no article there. So it's always just plus de and then the noun, autant de and then the noun, etc. Que mon frère. J'ai autant d'amis que mon frère. I have as many friends as my brother. Superlative, when you're saying that someone is the most or the least. We've got she speaks the least politely of the students. So this is an adverb. It's just using politely as the adverb to describe how someone speaks. So she speaks, elle parle, and it's always going to be the word le here. Because I gave you a note down here that it says the article is always le because the adverb and the plus moins don't have gender or number. So it's never going to be la or le. It'll always be le in this case. So elle parle le, even though she's feminine, it'll be le, least politely, moins poliment, of the students, des élèves, with the contraction of de and les élèves combining into des élèves. So you're identifying your group there. And the last example here, superlative with a noun. So this is a quantity, the most or the least of something. There won't be an autant option here because it's most or least. You can't have the equalist amount of something. So we've got the runner wins, le coureur gagne, the most, le plus. Now remember, it's always plus de and then the noun. So le plus de course of the team, de l'équipe. Okay, so you've got your examples there, and then just like the adjectives, we have a couple adverbs that are going to have irregular comparative and superlative forms. We know that bien is your adverb for well. So you can say that someone does something more well than someone else. You can use plus bien, but better than saying plus bien is to use this mieux up here for better. And then le mieux for the best. Mal, your adverb for badly. We can say plus mal for more badly, but it's better instead of that to use pire for worse, and then le pire for the worst. Okay. And again, like last time, I've given you some more practice and I identified for you if it's an adverb or a noun that you're using in that sentence. So you'll be able to go back up here and look at the word order and the structure for how you're going to write that. And with the answers down at the bottom. Again, you do not have to submit this and the notes. All you'll have to submit is the assignment that you'll find also posted on Google Classroom. But this is just for your practice to get a little bit of repetition and be able to check your work before you move on to the part that is graded.